There's a reason I started my channel by fusing Minecraft and Christianity.
You did something for a reason. What madness is this? We all know that the only thing that makes humans do anything is to annoy me specifically. I mean, it explains 99% of all the things in the world being stuff that I don't like. And as we all know, if something exists and I don't like it, it should change to suit my specific tastes. And that isn't not only a completely unreasonable stance to take on anything, but it's also not completely insane, as no person alive has the time to consume all the things crapped onto the internet all the time as it is. Imagine if it was all specifically catered to you to boot. Madness!
It's because I've always believed Minecraft can help us understand Christianity in many ways.
Well, that sounds like a fun game. Like how Steve comes back from the dead, basically making him Jesus. Although that is a lot of Jesuses, and, you know, there's actual evidence for those particular resurrections. About how the creator of the universe leaves clear and concise instructions on what you need to do. No, wait, that's not, no, I have one this time, I'm sure. Right, okay. You know Judas? Well, if you rearrange the letters in his name and then take them all out and then add a bunch of different ones, you get Creeper. Oh, man.
It shows why modern science is compatible with belief in God.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but that's only because... What? I mean, to be fair, belief in science is compatible with certain beliefs in magic supermen. But for one, the ones that have any claims based in reality attributed to them fail under any scientific scrutiny of those claims. And second, for the most part, an understanding of science makes the whole God thing less and less useful. Because sure, back in the bad old days when people didn't know where the sun went when it was dark, believing it was stolen by some guy who f***ed it for 12 hours a night was at least something, but now we know that we just kind of stop looking at it for half a day. Doesn't need a supernatural explanation. Apparently, we are just really, really passive-aggressive.
It helps us understand what heaven will be like and what we will do there.
Heaven will be like Minecraft in any conceivable way. Well, that's going to make an incredible number of 10-year-olds ecstatically happy. And that's not me saying Minecraft is bad, even for adults, but the idea of having to spend the rest of eternity inside it, I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Please, at least tell me that the Heaven 2.0 beta has mod support. If I have to be there forever, I am going to at least want some cool shit to do and some fancy ray-traced shaders. Ooh.
And even helps us understand the problem of why God allows evil.
I seriously doubt it, but I do think that whatever you're going to argue will be extremely funny, so I'll allow it. The idea that somehow f***ing Minecraft, which is akin to digital Lego, albeit with swords and zombies, somehow solves the problem of evil, a philosophical black hole where the Abrahamic religious worldviews go to try and drown themselves. Well, as claims go, it's one of the ones of all time. I will give you that.
Cool. Does this work for other video games like Fortnite or Angry Birds? No.
Yeah, I don't like those games, so they don't do the thing that I say they do. Funny thing is, as much as this is a really, really stupid exercise, if you're gonna do it, the fact that you can't find similar parallels in other titles proves that you really, really haven't put any thought into this idea. I can think of some examples, albeit still weak as anything you're going to present, for those games too, and that's from the perspective of someone who likely agrees with you that Minecraft is probably the better game, but Fortnite could be used to argue about predestination because of that circle closing in over time, or even divine favor when RN Jesus gives you the holy hand grenade. And Angry Birds? Well, if you make the right choices, God will reward you with the destruction of your enemies as their buildings topple over in his powerful physics-driven universe.
Minecraft is different because Minecraft is a copy of the real world, and we know that reality exists outside of the world of Minecraft, so that helps us explore the possibility that reality could exist outside of our physical world.
Copy? What f***ing world do you live in? My god, pooping out those very sharp meter square bricks must be absolute torture. And, you know, it does sound kind of like you're accidentally doing a simulation theory. That is to say, if we could simulate a perfect version of our universe, or at least one so similar that a person who found themselves within it would be unable to tell the difference, that would almost certainly be proof that we are in fact living within a simulation, as the likelihood of being on the top layer is effectively zero. And two other things: Minecraft is absolutely not a perfect simulation of reality. It is in fact comically simplistic by comparison. And second, while it's interesting to think about, even if it were true, it doesn't change the fact that we live in some form of reality, and it isn't all that useful in terms of what to do within that current reality.
So understanding how we relate to a Minecraft world can help us understand how God relates to our world.
No, that's just no. I mean, seriously, no. It's hard to even begin to know. You ever hear something so wrong that you just know? Seriously, I'm trying to come up with a coherent reason for why that's so wrong, and it's just no. Let me just... Right, bat of the head always fixes that particular glitch. It feeds into one major point among so many. Reality, as much as it is weird, doesn't seem to have any coding errors. And at least so far, anything that we might think is that kind of thing has just been a misunderstanding of how it works. The bugs in Minecraft, while not all known, are unquestionably coding errors. And even the ones that lead to accidental fun and are made core to the experience still are based on mistakes. And even if accurate, this comparison would suggest that the real world is as much spaghetti code as any other video game, which doesn't shine God in quite the faultless creator being light that Christianity tends to prefer he be shown in. What are you doing?
Let's say there was a villager who had never met a Minecraft player, and that all he knew was the natural world of Minecraft. He might not believe Minecraft had a creator. He might not believe there is a world outside Minecraft. In fact, the scientists of his world might believe that Minecraft generated by a natural process.
Wow, you are just vastly overestimating the cognitive capacity of Minecraft villagers. They are nothing like human beings. They're stupid, they're easily manipulated, they're prone to dying in incredibly dumb and meaningless ways, and wait, shit, that does explain a lot of the God stuff.
They might say, we don't believe in a creator. Science has revealed that Minecraft generated by a code. There's no big villager in the sky who went into creative mode and built all this.
Let's just say that Minecraft villagers are as competent, or incompetent depending on how you look at it, as the average human. Well, you know that humans have come up with a lot more than just two possible explanations for the everything. What makes you think that they wouldn't have a multitude of explanations for the existence of their everything? Maybe it's always been there. Maybe it's the result of some self-replicating blocks at the beginning of time. Perhaps it was aliens somehow. Whatever the fuck those are. You have to understand that there's more to understanding of existence of a conscious entity than just my thing or some other thing.
Now, we know that it's silly for a Minecraft character to think this way, but this is similar to how a lot of modern atheists think about God.
And there's the massive straw man waiting in the wings to pop out its ugly and extremely stupid head. First off, that we have information that the villager doesn't. We know he's in a simulacra of reality, but that doesn't make it silly for him to think whatever he thinks, necessarily anyway. Because how is he supposed to attain information otherwise? To judge him for it is actually the silly move, and comparing it to what atheists think is just wrong, since apparently in your version, they know so much as to seemingly have access to the very code behind the veil of reality. Where inversely, they might have access to things like comments in the code, actual words from the very creator of that code. Funnily enough, we have neither access to the code and, more importantly, have seen hide nor hair of God's words TM. Almost like he never actually left any.
Especially ones who think that the more science can explain about our world, the less room there is for God. But Minecraft shows us that even if science is able to explain everything about our world, God can still be behind it. There is no contradiction.
Oh, there's a contradiction, is there? Well, I'm glad you told me, because here I was thinking that this video was about how Minecraft effectively proves Christianity, but apparently it's not. It's just how Minecraft maybe sort of would make the idea that someone created the universe probably okay, maybe? Because otherwise, you would be saying there's not a contradiction when the Bible, you know, that slightly important book to the whole of Christendom, constantly makes claims about God's active participation in reality and how that is part of the proof of his realness. And yet for some reason, science constantly calls those claims into question. Glad we cleared that up, you fucking moron.
For example, it's true that every Minecraft world is generated by a code. Kinda like how there are laws of physics behind the world we see.
Kind of is a very funny way of saying nothing like, since these things are not analogous to each other. One is the set of rules that define how things interact within a system that's several layers deep from code, which is the fundamental language of at least that reality. These are the same things as like saying that Java or C++ are the rules of Minecraft. Anyone who knows anything about coding would know that's a completely ridiculous statement. And the fact that you don't know the difference makes the flawed nature of your premise even more apparent. Good job.
Minecraft worlds are infinite and will keep generating themselves based on the seed code that you give them. Seriously, anytime you make a new Minecraft world, you can use your own seed code, any combination of letters and numbers that you want, and the algorithm will generate you a world in an exact and predictable manner based on the seed code that you put in.
Christ, even though he's so close to getting something right, he's still fundamentally wrong. The Minecraft is infinite thing is not actually true, as I understand it, even to this day. When you reach the technical limits of the code, you still get weird errors. One of them famously known as the Farland. And as I understand it, the differently coded Bedrock edition, well, there's a breakdown in how the physics function when you get far enough away from where you started. And just because Minecraft worlds are based on a seed code in no way suggests that is even remotely akin to how our universe, quote-unquote, spawned.
And even though your new world is infinite, anyone in the world who uses the same seed code that you did will have the same exact world generated for them. So even if our world generated by a completely natural process, we can still say God created it exactly as he wanted, because God made the process and God started the process knowing exactly how it would turn out.
Amazing. Way to just leap over anything even resembling some kind of evidence-based demonstration and straight to a conclusion that has nothing to do with the premise. Even if there were a reality seed code, one, that would not mean anyone did the seed code. That could still be a natural function of reality that was generated by non-sentient processes. And two, even if it was entered by some being with a will to do, that does not mean that they had any idea what would actually come of it. No more than if you put the seed code tits and bum into the game, would you know for a fact the Minecraft world created would contain any of those things. As a matter of fact, it contains something different. Something beautiful.
This is why a lot of modern thinkers think we might live in a simulation, and that's possible, but it shows that belief in God is also reasonable.
Your premise was never show that belief in God is reasonable, I guess. Don't worry about it, oi oi, be lucky. It was Minecraft helps us to understand Christianity, presumably in how true and smart it is, which it, of course, doesn't in any way. But that's only because doing so is an incredibly stupid thing to even consider, let alone actually fucking attempting.
Now here's how Minecraft can help us understand heaven, or the new heavens and the new earth, which is what the Bible actually talks about.
Cool, and I'm super sure it's not going to be really dumb. Also, the new heavens and new earth sound like a fucking comic book retcon to me, but that may just be my dork card showing.
A big question is, how similar will the new heavens and the new earth be to the earth we currently live in? Because the Bible has a lot of passages that imply that the new heavens and the new earth is just going to be a redeemed version of this world.
Big question. Not gonna lie, that sounds less like a BQ and more like lazy writing. Yeah, the new thing. It's gonna be the same, but with magical redemption powder sprinkled on top. You won't be able to tell the difference, but that's definitely there and totally profound, honest. It's the same way the world created by God and the world formed from natural processes are the exact same world for some reason.
For example, Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed which starts in this world and grows and continues into eternity. And the book of Revelation describes heaven in pretty physical terms. There's going to be cities and kings and nations, so it's not just going to be floating on clouds for all eternity.
Well, that sounds fucking stupid for so many reasons. First off, kings and shit. There are barely any kings today, but God is going to resurrect that defunct institution, is he? You know, it almost sounds like it was written by someone who had no concept of how a world could function without a monarchy, or what that would even look like. And so there's some sort of enforced hierarchy in heaven now. And yeah, sure, there's supposed to be one between man and God. He's boss and you're not. Fine, whatever. But between other humans? And what, so no upward mobility, I guess? I mean, how could there be? There's only finite levels, but infinite time. Or perhaps it's some sort of autonomous collective. You get to take turns being the supreme executive. But then what's God's job even? And now this is all starting to sound very convoluted. Like whoever wrote it just wanted to make it sound like it made sense without actually, making sense. Although to be fair, that's not as embarrassing as reading it like it does.
But there are also a lot of Bible passages that imply discontinuity, that the world's just going to be destroyed and the new heavens and new earth will be something completely new.
One can only hope. In fact, scrap building a new one. I'm sure if you put people in it, they'll only fuck it all up again. I would suggest just going back to the infinite nothing from before the everything. Now that sounds lovely. Haha, peace.
2 Peter says the earth is going to be burned up by fire, and Revelation says the new heavens and the new earth are going to replace the first earth that will pass away. So what gives?
I think you'll find that the Bible was written by a bunch of different assholes who rarely bothered to check what the others said. So they just made up whatever bullshit they thought sounded good at the time. It pretty much explains the whole wretched tome.
So when you update a Minecraft world, in a sense, the first world is destroyed, but the new world is the same, but better. The things that are destroyed in the first world are things like bugs and glitches, and everything good from the first world continues. If you update your world, you can have the same structures and all the cool stuff from the old world, but with a lot of the problems fixed and a lot of new possibilities added.
So, by your logic, all the things in the world that are bad, pain, suffering, death, disease, these are just bugs that need a quick update to fix. But doesn't that just completely undermine the whole concept that God is in any kind of control over the universe? Did he let those things in by accident? Does he need a day one update to patch out all these horrendous errors that are deleting player progress and causing their computer to shit lava into their bedrooms? Except it's not even day one. 6,000 years on and same shit. Laziest goddamn developer ever. Obviously abandonware, piracy and fan patches are the only solution to this shit. Do not keep giving this asshole your money, people.
This applies to our world because a lot of the problems of our world are baked into the laws of physics and biology, which make death, decay, and destruction inevitable. So when our world gets an update, the laws of physics need to be changed, and the laws of biology also need to be changed so that the lion can lay down with the lamb, as scripture says.
It will never not be amazing to me when an idiot like you will read "the lion will lay down with the lamb" and not see that as the obviously flowery metaphor that it is. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What is the point of a lion if its biological and physical drives are completely undermined like that? You're just turning it into a big fluffy pussy cat.
So the new creation is going to include things like trees, lemonade, Bach, birds, and Ohio, but is not going to include things like death, pain, loss, and decay.
See, this just sounds like it's going to contain Scunthorpe, but not the beautiful, cheeky cuss hidden in it. And that is literally the only interesting thing about the place. Heaven is going to be the dreariest fucking saccharine place ever, apparently. What fun.
Finally, Minecraft explains the problem of why God allows evil better than any philosopher I've ever read. And I think that, ladies and gentlemen, is all we need to hear from this guy today, because presumably fucking Minecraft explains the problem of evil better than any philosopher he's ever read. Because reading and understanding are not even remotely the same fucking thing. Bye!